National Assembly caucus. All members from the Northeast in the House of Reps and in the Senate. Another unwritten message has come that Senator Sani Musa has said that the North Central will be meeting in his house at 8 p.m. He just mentioned. But you didn't give the address of your house.
They know.
Is it your guest house?
Leave them.
Okay. Normal venue. So, distinguished colleagues, let me welcome the 18th Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General C.G. Musa, retired, to the hallowed chambers of the National Assembly, specifically the Senate, that he is very familiar with. We have his curriculum vitae before us, and we have taken judicial notice of the fact that he has earlier been cleared by this Senate, and so he's not a new person to us. We are even taking cognizance of the fact that he has had the opportunity in the service of this particular administration to enter this hallowed chamber to address us on security issues, where he led other security chiefs to do so. So on behalf of the Senate, we want to congratulate him for serving meritoriously and departing as the 18th Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on his pull-out parade ceremony, which was very colorful. We thank you for your services. And specifically also, we want to applaud Mr. President for returning you to this administration and now even sending you back to the hallowed chamber of the Senate. This is a ritual that every person who wants to be a minister must go through. It's constitutional. That's why we brought you back here. And you would have seen the kind of respect that this chamber has for you, that even before you later got here, we were informed that you will be coming. And so we prepared for you. We are delighted that we did not waste time, because we want you to go straight into action as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if you are cleared by this Senate, and then assist us in tackling the insecurity in the country. Accompanying the minister of the ministerial nominee, General C.G. Musa, retired, we have Major General O.T. Akinjobi, retired. We have Major General B.N. Salawu, retired. We have Major General O.W. Ali, retired. We have Major General H.T. Wesley, retired. We have Major General C. Ofoche, retired. We have Major Rear Admiral I. Dewu. We have also Commodore Ogumodede. We have Rear Admiral Shetima, retired. We have Colonel Oyefuga, retired. We have Alhaji Farouk Dogo. We have Alhaji Yakubu Hosseini. We have Mr. Likisha Musa. We have also Alhaji Toko Umar. We have Air Vice Marshal A.G. Bello, retired. We have Brigadier General Tuko Guzao. We also have Air Vice Marshal Ajayi, retired, and also the Special Advisor to Mr. President on Senate matters, and the person of Distinguished Senator Bashir Lado, leading them. So you are all welcome to the hallowed chamber of the National Assembly. We now invite the nominee of Mr. President to please take the podium. To just reassure Nigerians by reintroducing yourself to those who were not born when you were the Chief of Defense Staff of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so that they will know you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the President of the Senate and Chairman of the National Assembly, Distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON. Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barrow Ibrahim Jibrin, CFR. The Principal Officers of the Senate, distinguished senators, the Special Advisor to the President on Senate Matters, Senator Bashir Lado, CON. I feel highly privileged and honored to be here standing before you in this hallowed chamber. I feel blessed and privileged. The last time I was here, sir, was as a military man. Today, I'm standing here as a retired general. To God be the glory, sir. I am General Christopher Musa, retired, the 18th Chief of Defense Staff, Armed Forces of Nigeria. Standing here as a great honor to present myself as nominated by Mr. President as the Minister of Defense of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I was born, sir, on 25th December 1967 in Sokoto. I spent my formative years in Sokoto before I went to the Nigerian Defense Academy as a member of the 38 Regular Course. I was commissioned in 1991 into the Infantry Corps, and I've been there all through my career. I've had the privilege of serving my country right as a junior officer, medium level, senior level, up when I got to the Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. For me, it's a defining moment because it gave me the privilege and understanding of the dynamics of the challenges confronting our great nation, Nigeria. And standing here, I pledge to give my best in ensuring that Nigeria is secured and safe. But we cannot do it alone. Nobody, no single individual can do it. No single parastatal can do it. We need the support of everyone, every Nigerian and everyone living in Nigeria, working together as a team, because it's going to be a teamwork. The enemies we are dealing with are evil forces that don't mean this country well. And they have no respect for human life. And that's why it's important for us to know that if we don't work together, we'll give them the opportunity to continue to perpetrate the evil acts they've been doing. And that's why it's important that we first must love one another, understand that we're in this together, and believe that the challenges we're facing is a Nigerian challenge. It's not only for the armed forces or for the security forces, but it's for everyone working together. I want to assure you we're going to work united as we did when I was the Chief of Defense Staff. The important thing is for us to take the ownership of the challenges confronting our dear nation. These are things that we can't defeat. We can't win this war. But until we are deliberate about it, until the way we are determined, knowing that we are brothers and sisters, and God has a purpose, putting us here together, is not to destroy ourselves, but to build ourselves up. And that's, for me, the most important aspect, that all Nigerians must put hands together to defeat the enemy. The Sahel is heating up. And you can see what they are doing to Mali. We will not want such situations to come to Nigeria. And that's why our borders must be secured. Our security forces must be empowered, must be supported. And I want to thank you most especially, Mr. President, sir, for all the support given to me when I was the Chief of Defense Staff. It made a great difference. The National Assembly stood by us all through. Despite the challenges, we were able to move forward. And I can assure you that together, as a servant of this nation, We'll continue to work together in ensuring that we secure our dear country. Nigeria is great. And we will never be ashamed, and nobody can intimidate us. That I know. Because we are one people, God's people, that will continue to foster, no matter what other ones are saying. Everybody in the world knows Nigeria is great, and it will continue to be great. Thank you very much, sir.
Let me, if you...
Colleagues, I'm Ahmed Lawan, I represent Yobe Senatorial District, and by the grace of the leadership of this Senate and the Selection Committee, the Chairman Committee on Defense. Mr. Chairman, I have a very first-hand experience of working with the former Chief of Defense Staff, the ministerial presidential nominee, General C.G. Musa. Like you all did, those who spoke before me, let me commend Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for this nomination. And it is a very significant nomination at this time. In fact, probably this is the only, as far as I can remember, the only ministerial nomination that almost everyone in the country is saying, yes, this is the right thing to do, and is the right person to be. We are so united in this country today over the nomination. Mr. Chairman, while he was CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, when we worked together with him, I saw sense of duty, sense of patriotism, sense of nationalism, professionalism, humility, and firmness. We cannot have it better than this. I congratulate him even before the confirmation. And from everything and everyone that has said anything, I'm sure this Senate will confirm him by the grace of God. But Mr. President, as much as we all know that this is a highly professional person, capable person, patriotic person, the Hausa man says, you don't approach fire with empty hand. Say, unless kokana da magani ko kai sharifi ne. That is to say, either you have antidote that fire will not burn you, or you are a sheriff. I don't know what a sheriff is in. You are born with that natural endowment that fire will not harm you. What I mean, Mr. Chairman, when we give him the job and Mr. President appoints him and swears him in, let's enable him and armed forces with what they need to operate optimally as much as we can. No investment in our armed forces and other security agencies today in Nigeria is too much. And I know Mr. President has been doing so much. He has ramped up funding for our security agencies and armed forces. But let's take this opportunity that we now have the kind of people we need in the armed forces at the leadership level. We motivate those that are in the field and encourage them by giving them what they need. Because no matter how professional they are, they cannot operate in vacuum. I believe that budget 2026, when it comes, should have more and more layers of additional resources for armed forces. And we should never make the opportunity we have slips, because our armed forces are totally committed, geared to fighting the insurgency and banditry to his finish. So let's push them with more resources and hold them responsible. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I thought that is begging the question. What we expect from you is assurance. We will win this war. We shall win this war. Not can. Can is about potential. We have talked too much about potentials. Under your leadership, Nigeria will win this war. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we shall win this war. That's the kind of assurance we want. That's it. There have been a couple of observations that people have raised. When young men and women are kidnapped, state governors and other stakeholders are panicking, people are responding differently. For example, we have seen reports of armed terrorists coming out of the bush and negotiating with a subnational government. And people are like, how can we negotiate? And on the floor of this Senate, many distinguished senators remind us that people know where these terrorists are. They know their roots. And in any case, if they didn't know them, how do they negotiate with them? Because once the armed forces is demystified, there is no state. It is the power of the state. It possesses the monopoly to use instruments of violence to liquidate anyone who threatens the existence of the state. So for many people, they can't understand why the state or anybody purporting to represent the state will negotiate with bandits. They come to the city, and then after negotiations, they go back. There are other stories that one cannot verify about people wearing uniforms or people they have killed and so on and so forth. Like has been said, I don't think any one of us here has any iota of doubt. If anything, I have been congratulating many people who come to me that yes, for several reasons, your appointment is a bold statement, even to enemies of Nigeria outside Nigeria, who sought to polarize our country along religious lines. Your appointment has shut their mouth down. So, in all respect, I'm pleased, I'm happy, my confidence is reinforced. But sir, I need you to change your statement that we shall win. Number two, whether or not it makes sense for the state or sub-nationals to negotiate with terrorists, carry weapons into the city, and then going back, as we see, these are reported from time to time, and we have seen governors saying after successful negotiations, they have achieved something. We just need some assurance from you. I think that is all. Your competence is not in doubt. The president's capacity to identify competent hands has never been in doubt. I asked somebody here, have we ever condemned any? I think you are yet another addition to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's determination to put not round peg, square peg in a square hole. That is what you represent. But I just need some assurance to tell my children they don't have to worry. We have a new sheriff in town. Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. President, because a lot of time has been taken in putting questions, I just want to, not to be repetitive with what others have said. When General Musa was withdrawn as Chief of Defense Staff, I was very apprehensive. I was very sad. But I didn't know that the Mr. President was reserving you for this great role, to be Minister for Defense. So now that you have come back, my hope is renewed that somebody who will do the work with experience has come back. You were general in the army. You are still a general. A general doesn't retire. Once you come out, you are still a general. With this litany of generals you have come here with, all of them have rich experiences. I just want to tell you that we expect so much from you. This country is passing through a grave situation. You will notice that my brother, Senator Sani Musa, touched.
Which was also on my mind, is that you are nominated at a time when many of our children are still in the bush. A lot of children in schools have been kidnapped, some have been rescued, and some are still in the bush. What would you do differently? And how can you assure us that with this nominee, or with this nomination, that we are sure that you'll be able to work with a team under you to ensure the release of those children and to give Nigeria a better image? You may proceed to answer that, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, sir. Distinguished senators. Let me start from the last one, sir. The issue of kidnapping of students, very unfortunate. But I think since last year, the Safe School Initiative was carried out. I think we need to look at it critically and make sure that it is holistic in its approach. Now, we must build the resilience of our communities because crime is localized. We're able to build the capacity of the locals themselves to be the first responder, because when they come, since security agencies cannot be everywhere, it's good we build them. Our schools must be secured. You see, most of the schools that have been built, you go and visit them, no perimeter fence, they are left exposed. Information conveyance, again, has been an issue. Before these informations are relayed, the use of technology. So, sir, we're going to make sure that we do a whole of society approach into addressing this issue of kidnapping of school. With technology, working together with the armed forces, the police, and other security agencies, and the communities. I think that's where the gap has been. We will be able to address that properly, and we'll be able to also secure these children and to stop issues of kidnapping all over the country. Distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan, sir, thank you very much, sir. I think one basic area we're also going to look at is accountability of the armed forces. Whatever funds has been made, we want to make sure that the funds are properly utilized. And I think that is very critical so that we can make sure that whatever it is we're getting are things that will help us and assist us in the members of the armed forces in carrying out their action. Senator Mongonusa, on the issue of policy. Yes, sir, I've been operational all through my life. Now the issue of policy, and I think that's very important, sir. What we have observed over time is that with the MDAs, we have not really been able to get the full support of the MDAs. I think one mistake we make is we think the armed forces can solve all the problems. The armed forces solution is just 20-25%. Majority has to do with good governance, building capacity, working together with all the other MDAs. The police has a lot to contribute. Civil defense, all other agencies, including Foreign Service, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Interior. So we need to harmonize all this diplomatically again, our neighboring countries, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, Benin Republic. We need to also reach out to them because if they're able to secure their own borders, it means our own borders will be secured. If theirs is porous, ours is going to be porous. And because we have more to lose, the terrorists that we're dealing with think Nigeria is so rich that when they come to Nigeria, they can make it. So anything they're doing anywhere, their target, end state, is to come into Nigeria. And that's why it's important that we must make sure that we secure our borders and deny them the entry. And then those ones that are within, we're able to take them out. There will be zero policy on anything banditry, terrorism. We're going to go out. I'll make sure that the armed forces will go fully all out, working together with the locals. Because like I said, sir, security is localized. If we don't carry the communities along, we're going to continue to run in issues. So that's why it's important that we must bring them together, working with the state governments particularly. Why the Southwest seem to be doing very well, sir, is because all the governors agreed together. And that's why regionally, governors must come together because 2, 3 are better than 1. And that's why for us to them to understand that the bandits do not respect border. They do not at all. They are, in fact, where they get their strength is their ability to run when you attack them, especially around Sokoto area, they enter Niger. And once they get to Niger, you can't touch them until they come back in. And that's why I said it's important that for the multinational joint task force in Gemena, we need to also build up their capacity to hold up down towards the border with with Mali and Burkina Faso, because we're beginning to have those, and that's why we're having those incursions into Kwara, coming down southwest, and we must stop them not to get further than that. I think action has already been done and put in place. It is for us to harmonize all this, firstly to ensure that all the MDS know they have a role to play. And so one important aspect is our legal system that we need to look at. Most of our laws look obsolete, and because sometimes justice is delayed, then it becomes a problem, because once punishment is meted immediately and action is done, it serves as deterrence to others. And that's why I think critical that we must be, and so I mentioned that all the MDS need to do the legal service, the correctional service, the civil defense, all mining activities have to be monitored properly, because that's another source of funding. All areas that they are getting their funds for, we must look at those aspects and stop and prevent them. And like we said, sir, the ability to also monitor where the funds are going to. If we're able to do that holistically using technology, sir, we'll achieve so much. Thank you very much, sir.
Most of the questions are security questions. Most of the questions are security questions. Not at this time. People want to appear on TV. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Okay, order, please. Order, please.
Distinguished colleagues. Distinguished colleagues.
Resume your seat, please. Distinguished senators, resume your seats, please. Resume your seats, please. Distinguished senators, resume your seat.
Go back to your seat, please.
Senator Maitaki, resume your seat.
Allow him to go.
Senator Maitaki, resume your seat.
Off the camera. This security matter cannot be discussed in the open. Let him go. It's not today.
Resume your seat, please. Ambassador President Senator Dino O'Brien.
Section 62. Senate standing orders. Senate standing orders 2023 as amended. Section 62. Open to section 62. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman, as in this case, of the Committee of the Whole, rises, yes, if you're a senator, you know this. Whenever you are sworn in, we give you this. Not for you to go and give it to your children or to keep it in your closet, but for you to read and understand the procedures and the proceedings of the Nigerian Senate. Please, I don't mean to say something that will offend anybody, but I believe this is our own Quran. This is our own Bible. Unless you don't want to be a senator. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman rises during a debate, any senator then speaking Clerk of the Senate, have you noticed that at that entrance there's a lot of noise? No, but there are people there. Sergeant at Arms, look at the people there now. Get their names down and we make sure that they are changed, because they engage in too much discussion with senators and disturb us here. They are supposed to keep quiet and do their work, while they allow the Senate to have decorum. Whenever the President of the Senate or the chairman rises during a debate, any senator then speaking or offering to speak shall sit down, and the Senate or the committee shall be silent, so that the President of the Senate or the chairman of the committee of the whole may be heard without any interruption. I tactically stood up so that those who are old senators will understand why I'm on my feet. Those who are young in the Senate will not understand. So I'm on my feet. Senator Musa, Senator Musa, your point of order is noted. I did not say rejected, but noted. The reason I say so is that the man standing in front of us could be regarded as a solution to the current insecurity in the country. And we are not here on our own. We are here representing our constituents. And our constituents would like to hear from him whether his appointment will enable them to sleep well, whether their children will be safe in schools. So we are not asking him questions because we don't like him. We're asking him questions because our constituents would have loved to ask him questions at a time like this. So if we come here and we do politics of, oh, bow and go, this is not a period we should say bow and go. Even Donald Trump is on our neck. We have not yet asked him what his response will be to Donald Trump, the President of America. He is not just anybody. Chief of Defense Staff, a nominee for a Minister of Defense of a country, and you stand up and say you should take a bow and go, with so many questions on the mouth of Nigerians, with over 200 Nigerian children in the bush, kidnapped and being tortured. His appointment is heralded all over Nigeria with happiness, because Nigerians believe he has something to offer. Give the man an opportunity to give Nigerians hope. Mr. Nominee, you answer questions, but you will not give any strategic information on the strategy that you use to achieve your aims of securing the nation. You will not. And anything you want from this Senate or National Assembly to assist you to do the work, we assure you that we are available. Is that the view of the Senate? Yes. So really, don't take it that we are not happy. We are all happy. We applaud, Mr. President, for your nomination. We have a lot of hope in you based on your track record. But a few questions are begging for answers. The Senate has just set up a committee to find out from the cry of the governor of Kebbi, who gave the order for the soldiers who had prior information that kidnappers were coming to the school. Is it St. Mary's School or where? Maga. And they went there and they even took the students to the field and taught the students what they would do when the kidnappers come. But 30 minutes before the kidnappers arrived, somebody gave order for the soldiers to withdraw from the school. And the kidnappers came and operated, and children were packed away. And the governor raised alarm all over. As the Chief of Defense Staff, former, now a nominee for the office of Minister of Defense, I want you to know that this Senate has set up a committee to investigate who gave that order and why they withdrew to give access to kidnappers to take those children unhindered. It's something that people would like to hear from you. And as we speak now, Brigadier General Oba has not been found, whether he's killed or not killed. He made a phone call to disclose his location. Who gave those coordinates for the kidnappers or the terrorists to go and pick him? Those are questions begging for answers. And then somebody like you is highly placed in security service. You have been everywhere. You have attained all the ranks. You come before the Senate and somebody is saying, take a bow and go. When you take a bow and go, where is Brigadier General Oba? When you take a bow and go, where are the children? How are we going to get the children back? You should make a statement on that. Please, I will not want us to ridicule the nomination of the president. The president knows why he brought him, and he has ideas of why he brought him. Let him also tell Nigerians what he will do in that regard. He doesn't need to disclose the strategy.
Point of order. Thank you very much, sir. Distinguished Senator, sir, thank you very much. And it shows the concern that we all have for the security situation in the country and the need for us to be very proactive in ensuring that we address them. So starting with the issues of General Uba, very unfortunate for a brigade commander to be captured and shown the way they did. It's really unfortunate and it's very painful. I want to assure Nigerians that we will not stand by and see terrorists have the capacity to do such. We're going to go after them fully, working together with all the security agencies and all the NDAs that I've said. We're going to investigate fully. So I know the Senate has established a committee to look into that. The armed forces also has a way. And then from the defense, we're going to make sure that we continue with the oversight over their activities. No indolence, no act of cowardice will be entertained. We're going to make sure that we follow them critically to see what they are doing from the commanders down to the troops. They must be professional. I was wondering how the general himself was alone when he's supposed to have his own troops with him. So there are questions that need answering. And I can assure you, sir, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We'll find out what happened, who are those involved, including that one for the children at Maga. It is unfortunate that the troops will be there and then will leave and shortly something happened. It is unacceptable. And I can assure you, sir, we're going to investigate and all those found culpable will face the law accordingly. And we'll make sure that we monitor all the activities of the armed forces and the security agencies, make sure that they remain very, very professional. Any information that comes will be treated adequately and make sure that the troops also take action as quickly as possible. But I want to assure Nigerians that, sir, coming on board, having served 39 years all through my career in the armed forces, we have seen what is going on, we have understood what is going on, and we know what we need. All I'm appealing, sir, is that with your approval, once we come on stream, we're going to come back to you, sir, to show you exactly what we need for us to do better, for us to achieve success. We can win this war, but we must work together. We must get the support. Because I can tell you, not calling members, there are still a lot of gaps within the armed forces that is also mitigating against them, be able to achieve success fully into what we're doing. And like I said, we need the state governors, we need everyone to be on board for us to be able to achieve that. So my assurance is, from day one, we're going to monitor and review all our activities, all the operations that we're doing. Where we have done wrong, we're going to take measures to address them. Where things need to be done, we're going to, and then we're going to come back again, sir, because there are areas that we need your support. And like Senator Lawan mentioned, the issue of funding. Without proper funding, it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult. But I want to thank the Senate again, sir, for all the support, but to assure Nigerians and the Senate that we are going to spend everything that is required to ensure that there is peace in Nigeria. Our children are going to be secured and safe, but it's going to be that all of us are working together in ensuring that is achieved. Thank you very much, sir.
Now we are happy with your answer. And just for your information, the Senate has already commenced a process. Just even this morning, we are designating kidnapping as a terrorist action. And then we have also prescribed death sentence without any option of fine. We are going this route because we want to give you the enabling legal framework for people to know that either there's deterrent. If they are not deterred, then let them go ahead and they will face death sentence. So we are prepared to give you all the support. Distinguished Senator Nengi.
This opportunity. General Musa, I am extremely delighted, excited, like all Nigerians, about this appointment. Mr. President, this appointment looks like it. It looks tactical. It looks logical. And it is timely. The question I want to ask the General is, General, what is the problem of the Nigerian Armed Forces with technology? Example, why are we seeing these bandits with super sophisticated guns and our officers are confronting them still with AK-47? Thank you.
Colleagues, I know General Christopher for a very long time, and he is part of the generals that have been in the theater. The theater means the Northeast, where we all know is the epicenter of Boko Haram until now, that the Northwest has joined, and other zones. I worked closely with the retired general, and in fact, our relationship has gone beyond official to personal. I just want to add to what distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawan said, and to also urge our colleagues to give this gentleman the optimum support. And this support is in the field of appropriation. And not only that, it is also important not only to appropriate, but to make sure the funds are provided as at when needed. We have been advocating, Mr. Senate President, and this Senate should do that the budget of the armed forces and indeed other important security agencies should be on the first line charge, and it should be released to them as at when due. This is not what is happening now. And as the former Senate President said, I will repeat it now that you all know, Hanum Banza Bayat Okauta. And it is time for me now, sir, to commend Mr. President for not only appointing General Christopher as the Minister of Defense after retirement as CDS, but also declaring this issue of insecurity as an emergency. And also just day before yesterday or so, the Senate passed a resolution advising Mr. President to rejig the security architecture. That is being done. Now what is remaining is to give the military and other security agencies what they need to walk the talk. Now back to the question. I'm constrained by what you said, that some of these questions should be asked in executive session. But fortunately, what I discussed, or my question to the minister now, is something that I discussed with him. Now that you have the chance to ask, because He told me that generals don't complain. If he had so, which is not what I would discuss, if you give him 6 months, if he doesn't get it done, he will drop the uniform. That time he was in uniform. Now you are a civilian. Now you can complain because you are no longer in uniform. As at the time, which is the tradition of the army, generals don't complain. So my question to you, my big friend, is will you ask for those things from your appointee, that is the CNC, and here you are before the Senate that promised to give you that support. So if you ask that question or you demand for that thing, I want to believe that the Senate will support you to get it. And that will mean that this issue of insecurity will be something that will be a history when we are still senators. Thank you.
Thank you. General.
My name is Oji Ozokalo. I represent Abia North of Abia Senatorial District. Mr. President and my colleagues, I think first I want to thank President Ahmed Bola Tinubu for appointing somebody I will consider, in my opinion, personal opinion, as a very competent man. Myself and Chairman Ahmed Lawal, Committee on Defense, we work with him. We have been working with him since 10th Senate as CDS. And there is nothing good like if we are appointing people, you appoint competent people. I don't even know questions senators are asking him because this man is competent. He was our CDS. He's a very competent general. He's a full 4-star general. So if there's anything you give in Nigerian army, he has it. But my advice, I don't want to ask him a question. My own is advice. Don't believe on only gun. You must go back to intelligence gathering. Intelligence gathering is the key to whatever you are going to do. Because we have no intelligence. When people do not have intelligence gathering, they carry weapon and go, the enemy is in front. There's no recce. I don't see soldiers and Navy, Air Force going for recce. Both air recce or ground recce. They don't do that. And when you go there, they have laid ambush. We will lose our soldiers. As a Minister of Defense, how will you address the issue? I want you, the issue of wiping out courses. I want you to advise Mr. President. You wipe out a course totally. Like if you were course 38, if you are appointed CDS, every other person in course 38 will retire. We have used money to train you people. And it's Nigerian people's money. So how you are going to address this issue as a defense minister? In terms of security, how are you going to control the service chiefs to be one? There's no love among the service chiefs. How are you going to coordinate them to make sure, because the essence of a defense minister is to coordinate all the service chiefs and all the agencies related to it. We have almost 42 security-related agencies in Nigeria. How are you going to come out as Minister of Defense to make sure that everybody speaks with one voice and you go back to President Tinubu to advise him brilliantly? Because we are not soldiers, they have been given the highest honor by appointing you Minister of Defense. So you must pay a very good attention to the service chiefs, to everybody. It's your duty. Service chiefs are not independent of you. Service chiefs are supposed to report to you. And that is what it should be. And you make a decision and go back to the President of Nigeria to advise him. It's not a multiple thing. You must follow that line. This is what is done all over the world. And you must also brief the President on the things that are realistic, not just things you like. Like my colleague, Kabo, was asking you a question. Just one moment. What he's trying to ask you, is it genocide in Nigeria? Did anybody? I know people are killing people. If they go to Zamfara State and kill people, the people they will kill are Muslims. If they come to Abia State and kill people, the people they will kill are Christians. They go to Plateau, Benue and kill people. They go to Meduguri and kill people. They will kill Muslim. So the question is, do you subscribe that Nigeria, we must work as one? Do you believe that people are being killed, not based on their religion, but they are based on terrorists killing people? Thank you, Mr. President. Let me stop so far. Thank you very much.
People are coming.
Let's ask
Mr. President, Mr. President.
If this is, that means we have exhausted ourselves.
No, I'm coming. I flew to Enugu with an officer who went to work on recruitment. And I was told that people from that region are not, I'm sure it's the fact that you know,
Please,
they are not joining. Because they say that when they join, they are sent to the northeast, where they die.
Senator Ome, restrict yourself to the issues, to the subject matter. Screening of the nominee, not your discussion with another. So I'm telling you right now that even today, even if it's immigration, they oversubscribe. If the army oversubscribe, how can we be talking like this?
You don't run short of people that will help you do this work. I know you are going to be Minister for Defense, no longer Chief of Defense Staff. But all of us here, whenever we see an officer killed in the field, it pains us as much as it pains you. The problem is that there is need to protect our officers. What happens when we see people killed in the battlefield are just like the match, football match. Whenever Nigeria loses an international match, everybody is low. So I want to say that I'm happy that you are back, and I pray that God will help you. And without saboteurs in the armed forces, there are saboteurs in the armed forces that have been responsible for the things we are seeing that are very unsavory. Look deep and see how not everybody carrying arm is a patriotic military officer. So that those who are against this country are weeded out, and those who are strong enough in patriotism are pushed forward. This is what I have to tell you. May God be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. In reality, we are through with the questions. Is there anybody who is opposed to the nominee, being cleared? Senator Plank. Unless it is being, we've been very fair. The screening of ambassadors is ongoing. So some of you have been going there and coming back, and I thank you for your patience and all your contributions. The nominee, you see why I told you to sit down? You can run off with some of the questions you can remember. The ones you cannot remember, write them down and take them to your office.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. It shows that everybody is following up with the issue, everybody is fed up, and everybody wants things to be done differently. And those are the things we're going to do to make sure that we have peace. Like Senator Shomole mentioned, we will win, working together as a team. Let me start from bottom up, sir. Starting with Senator Iroele, thank you very much for the commendation, and to assure you you're fully committed. We're going to work together as a team, together from the ministry, with the National Assembly, with the members of the armed forces and other security agencies. All NDAs have roles to play for us to achieve success. Nobody can do it alone. I think that's the most important thing. The difference between the CDS office and the minister's office interlinked, supporting each other, giving them all the necessary support for them to be able to carry out their task Whatever it is we're looking from the outside as they're operating, we're also providing all the necessary, meeting all the NGOs and everybody, making sure it works. Working with them closely, that is taking. There is no way that we can achieve anything without working as a team. Even when I was CDS, I tried to harmonize all the services to remove all the rancor we used to have before. And now we'll make that very, very important. I think one area that we're going to look at constitutionally is to look at the powers given to the service chiefs, the CDS, ministry. There are a lot of lacunas, there are a lot of gaps that I think is affecting our operations. And I think that is very critical. We must be able to get the service chiefs with their responsibility, the CDS responsibility, and then the ministry. Observing what is being done, following up so that we can make sure that the work, the synergy is seamless. There seem to be still some areas that is meditating against our work. I think those are issues we're going to come. I think what we'll do again, sir, is taking over. I'm going to sit down with all stakeholders. That's what we did in Maiduguri that gave us the success we did. We must make everybody understand the roles they have to play. And in doing that, once we do that and everybody's on board, it makes it a lot easier. So to say in Maiduguri, we had meetings with motor park, markets, commercial drivers, everybody. And when they came on board, that's when we had success. And that's why we need to really replicate, going down to make sure that everybody has a responsibility. It is not when you see something, you keep quiet saying it is not your responsibility. No. The armed forces, security forces are not going to be everywhere. So it's important that we also work together. So Senator Anye will assure you that we're going to work closely with the service chiefs. There won't be any issues together, and including other security agencies. On the issue of the reabsorbment of the surrendees, that is not happening. We have a system that we monitor who and who we're recruiting into service. We work together with the intelligence system, the military intelligence, the DSS and all. They still go back to check all those ones we're recruiting based on the data they're bringing. But sir, I think I must mention this, which I've done severally. There are countries, if we look at first world countries, where are they succeeding? They've been able to put some basic things in place. Something as simple as a database for all citizens. So I think that's one area that we need to be, so that we can also assist the security forces. And even developmentally, we need to know the number of people in particular areas so that we can know whether we have markets or schools or hospitals in those areas. I think it's important that we must have a comprehensive database, and not the database that immigration will be having, quarantine will be having, police is having something. No, we need a unified one that will be able to carry, so that when you commit a crime, it's easier to track you, it's easier to trace. That aspect that people can easily commit one crime in Sokoto and run to Maiduguri and go and stay, or run to Kano or somewhere and nobody knows them, makes it a lot easier for them. There are countries where you commit one offense, even your bank account is closed. Your ATM cannot work. Now with ICT, we can do a lot. So I think sir, it's important at this stage for us to start looking at how we can link up all those data together to have a unified one that will assist us in doing this. The kinetic and non-kinetic, like is mentioned rightly, sir, the kinetic effort is about 25-30%. It cannot win totally. It will give you the leverage. But sir, are we addressing those aspects that got us to where we are? Issues of good governance, poverty, illiteracy, all these aspects contribute to it. And that's why we said that the states need to do a lot. Local governments need to work. Sir, if our local governments are up and doing, the local government chairman will be dealing with the crime within their localities. And it will ease up these aspects. We need to have the police. We need to have the correctional system, and especially our legal system. So if the legal system is not proactive, and most of these crimes, especially terrorism, so in Saudi Arabia and Middle East countries, anything on terrorism, nobody jokes with it. Even your family members will disown you, because they've made it in such a way that nobody is set free once you are charged on aspects of terrorism. So I think we need to also make it very, very punitive. The kidnapping issues, the way it's been treated in courts, you get somebody and cases are prolonged, doesn't make it well. So even the security forces, when you travel and you do all the efforts in making arrests and nothing comes out of it. So those are the aspects I think that we need to do. The non-kinetic is very important, sir, because if we're able to understand that one there's justice, fairness, and equity within the people, and they have a sense of belonging, you will see crime and criminality will go down. Why are we having the resurgence of criminality? We know towards the end of every year, there is always this upsurge. People want to make extra money in whatever it is they're doing. The Sahel is there. The world terrorism agent is increasing in its attacks all over the world. So it's not only Nigeria, because we are not isolated. And that's why we're having this pressure. What we need to do, sir, is working together as a team in addressing, making sure that we address them within Nigeria and do not give them any freeway, any aspects that they need to do. We must stop ransom payments. And in doing that, sir, even when ransoms are being paid, because people want to do that, we can track the money is being paid and where does the money come from. There is a lot you can do using the banking system, that we can do these things and track those things backwards. The use of technology is very important. And like I said, sir, if we're able to have a database and every Nigerian has a number linked to everything you have electronic, we can monitor anything. I think that's areas that we need to look at and be able to address. Again, the issue of the maritime environment, very, very challenging environment that is there, again, linking with the border, especially Akpabio to Cameroon and those other areas. We know there's a large increase. Normally, when the pressure is on in the south-south, they go back into issues of sea robbery and piracy and these issues on ground. Again, issues of cultism and all these things. Now, we make sure that our operations within those areas are enhanced using the Operation Delta Safe, expanding their reach. Initially, because those areas were a bit quiet, they didn't extend them, but now what we have done even before I left is we've extended operations within those areas to be able to address those maritime environments, to make sure that we stop these acts, because there's issues of kidnapping coming from those areas. Collaboration, sir, is critical. No one individual can do this together. We must work. Sir, it says no to negotiation. There is no negotiation with any criminal. And I think that should be made very, very clear. We are working together. We're going to work together with the NSA's office to ensure that states don't adopt such things, because those things compromise security. And to tell those that nobody, if you negotiate with them, they will never abide by it. It's just a moment. When they do that, they want to buy time to buy more arms, and then they were going to come. And we have seen it repeatedly. There are even localities that have done that. They still come after them. So, sir, it's a total ban on that, total ban on illegal mining, and all those other aspects that are bringing these things together. So I think we must be able to do that. Indiscipline in the military, sir, Senator Ipaya, we can assure you that we're going to address them totally. We're going to have independent patrol teams that will go and make sure that we do. And what we want to do again is to withdraw possibly all military men out of the checkpoints and let the police and the civil defense handle those aspects so that we can go into the bushes and take out these criminals wherever it is they are. It's important. Farming, for us, as yardstick for us to see is farmers must be able to go back to their farms. That is to show that we're achieving success. Because as little as that is very important, because food security is big. If there is hunger, a hungry man is an angry man. And so if people can't eat, you can imagine what will happen. So for us, I think protecting the farm, working with the civil defense that have the agro farmers, agro rangers is very important for us to continue to work together. For Senator Lalong, thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you for the commendation, and we assure you that we're going to be very firm in all we are doing. And everywhere we make sure that recruitments are going to be thorough. And again, it brings me back to a database. It makes it easier. If somebody comes for recruitment and has a number that you can check and see everything it's telling you, it makes it a lot easier. We've seen countries having this for years, so I think it's high time we're able to do that. A lot of people now, because there is war, even the military, you find some people don't want to go to where there's conflict. They want to go to soft areas. It's normal for humans. But we always want to tell that anybody being recruited should know that you are joining the armed forces because you are going to fight. There's war going on, and you will go and fight. So going in to say that you want to avoid, and that's why some people don't want to come in, because they feel if they come in, they say they will take them to Maiduguri and all this. Basically, that is what you are meant to do. But again, we know some states, we have observed some states, some regions don't really come in well for reasons, but I think we are doing some sensitization program to try and bring them into it so that the strength can be enhanced. But like Mr. President, you mentioned, sir, as we speak, sometimes every time we are doing recruitment, we have over 70,000 that are applying to join. So we still have enough. But maybe some states do not have that number. But again, we have a way of balancing because we want every Nigerian to be part of it, every Nigerian to take responsibility of what is going on ground. So we're following all those aspects, and we don't want them to go down. But on expectations, so I can tell you, I am also feeling the heat, because when I see the expectations, when my name was mentioned, I know that I cannot afford to fail myself, fail my nation, fail my family. Whatever that we need to do, we will put in the very best, and we know God on our side, we're going to succeed. So it's important, sir, that we must continue to work together. And I assure Nigerians, I really appreciate the responses to the Senate, National Assembly as a whole, the entire Nigerians. I went to social media, I was shocked when I saw the response. And it shows that people are really committed in showing that Nigeria is peaceful. So when people go around saying Nigerians, we don't love ourselves, I say, no, they don't really know who Nigerians are. And it also brings me to the issue that we have on the issue of whether genocide or no genocide. We're all victims. Everybody is being killed. Everybody is dying. So that's why it's important that we must work together. And it is when we allow them have gaps that they penetrate. They don't care who they kill. These are a bunch of evil people that are on drugs. For whatever reason, we must stop the killings. Nigerians must not be killed, or anyone in Nigeria must not be killed for whatever reason. So, sir, our own target is to face them squarely and ensure that we stop the killing. Farmers should go, our children should be safe in their schools, and Nigeria is back to how it used to be before. I think that's very, very important. On the issue of whether 100 days or 6 months, I think it's important that we must make sure that within a very limited time, people should see that things are changing. We're able to achieve that, and we can still do that, and we will do that. All we need is the support. So I want to seek your indulgence, sir, that once I take over, after 3 weeks, we'll be able to come back, maybe have a closed session, because there are a lot of things that we need to bring to the fore that will assist the members of armed forces and other security agencies. We cannot say it out in the open. There are a lot of gaps that we need to close in. And I think that's very important if we're able to sit down. I'll sit down with all of them, we'll discuss, and then we'll come back again and sit down and show you clearly the roadmap. What is it that is in? What do we need? What kind of support do we need for us to be able to achieve? I think that's very, very important, sir. On issue of saboteurs, yes, sir. Normally we recruit from the society. So there will always be the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we have a system of identifying such people, and immediately we do that, we take action because we prosecute. The armed forces have standby court martials all over the country. Anywhere you commit, there are offense and there are punishments for it. And I think that is what we're going to do. On sustaining the strength, yes, we're doing that. The system we're adopting is good, and we're going to do that. Engagement of retired personnel is a good idea. We're going to discuss with the services and see. On retirement, you still have 3 years into the reserve. So we can still re-engage those ones that are retired into reserve, those ones that are still fit and capable. Most of us here that are here have spent over 30 years in service, or almost 40 years, because if you look at those that went to NDA, spent 5 years and then 30-something years. There are some that were at NMS, spent 5 years, 6 years NMS, 5 years NDA, and 30-something years. So they put in a longer years, a lot of experience. And I think my advice, sir, to the nation is that beside even the military, even in other aspects of life, these are individuals that monies have been spent on them, time has been spent, they have a lot of experience, they're very brilliant, committed in ensuring that Nigeria develops. So we can also look at other aspects of putting them in some of these boards that we have. Let us utilize them. A lot of them finish, go back and just sit down and not doing anything. And I think that's not good, having considered the amount of money that had been spent and the experiences they have. I think we should look at the aspect of also bringing them into all some of these boards, and they will be able to bring out some inputs into bringing these things into the system. Sorry, sir, let me get this. I said issue on negotiation, no negotiation. Nobody's allowed to negotiate. And for the troops, sir, every personnel that is deployed knows why he's deployed. And the 3 things where he's told is this: you are to engage any criminal or any bandit that is armed and is about to kill you. You don't have to wait. Somebody is aiming to shoot at you and you are waiting for order. From who? Once you are deployed, you automatically have that responsibility. Or your colleague is to be shot and you know there is no other way of stopping it other if you don't kill the person. Or the community or property you are protecting. These are statutory and they all know it. So if any member of the armed forces is deployed anywhere and tells you that he's waiting for order, he's lying. He's only a coward. There is nothing like he's waiting for any order. The order is automatic once he's deployed because he's briefed before he's deployed. And I think that is very important that we're able to bring that distance. Like I said, the increase in terrorism and banditry, sir, end of the year, the times, over time, people have neglected so many things, and these are the things these are the results. So we must go back to those basics that will do that, working together with the communities, with the local governments, with the state governments, and the federal. Together, if we do that, we're going to look at and we're going to get good results. Whether National Guard or Reserve, then NYC using them, The issue of social media, sir, that's one big area we're having, is affecting the professionalism of the armed forces. And I think areas that we need to look at how we're going to address those things very well is very, very important. Funding issues, like it was mentioned, no country can have everything. So America's budget last year was about $800 and something billion, and they produce equipment. We don't produce this equipment. For everything we are buying, we buy using hard currency. A medium-range precision missile for a drone, sir, is $100,000. That is about 150 million naira. So once you fire one, 150 million has gone. Whether you hit target or don't hit target. A ship, a medium-range ship will take up to probably 33,000 liters of fuel, 10 tankers. In 5-6 hours, fuel is finished. So you can imagine that defense is expensive. And that's why it's important for us to see that we can fund. And we can do government to government. Some of these things, we can get them directly. So I think those are issues that I think we need to look at. We said 20% non-kinetic will do. The intelligence, yes, intelligence is critical. And that's why we need everybody to be on board, because when you see something and you report, action is taken. And we're able to get good results. As a whole, I think we want to assure Nigerians again, and the Senate especially, that we're fully committed. Coming back on stream from all the experience we have, working together with my team, we are going to make sure that we make a difference. And I can show you within the shortest possible time, sir, Nigerians will see that change. The trust they have in us will never let them down. And we count on the House. Thank you very much, sir.
Let me thank the nominee, General Christopher Musa, CFR. I don't know the rest, whether is it which PSC Dagger, because no, PSC Dagger, am I right? PSC Dagger, yes. I am GCON Dagger. Let me say that today's exercise has been a very serious one. And I want to thank the distinguished senators. There is a meeting of North Central going on. There's also a meeting of Northeast going on. There's also a meeting of Southwest going on. There's also a meeting of the committee headed by Senator Bello on foreign affairs, screening the presidential nominees for ambassadorial appointments. These were things that were prefixed, General, before you came. But in spite of how crowded today was, we felt there was need to take you so you can go and join your colleagues to begin to map out the right policies to keep Nigeria safer. And you have observed that there's a lot of expectation of all Nigerians across board, including Mr. President, who nominated you. It's because of your personnel and your track record. And I've not seen any nominee in the Nigerian Senate spend so many hours answering questions from senators since 1999. I think you are the first, so you have set the record. I have some senators here who insist that when they take the floor to speak, I should not stop them. That after all, in the United States, some senators speak for 24 hours. So in your own case, I decided to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to ask you a question, because we are all concerned about the security of the nation. The good part of it, but he answered your question. He answered, he mentioned you specifically, he said Senator Ani, and he answered the question. You didn't finish everything you wanted to say, but at least you said a few things, and we picked those few things. So Senator Ani, if you have any other thing, please put it in writing, give him as he's leaving. He will address them. So I want to thank all my colleagues for their contributions. To assure you also that there is what we call verbatim reporting. The moment this microphone is pressed, everything you say, even when you sneeze, is recorded. So we have everything on record, including those who contributed and left and those who came back to contribute, including every single thing you've said. In fact, let me even tell you, we are even recording the things you are thinking in your mind now. Because that is how digital we are. So we are up to date. In our offices, we'll review everything you have said here today and what you intend to do. But let me cap it up by mentioning that you said there is a constitutional lacuna. This is for the Senate, that the responsibilities of each office within the security architecture of the country must be looked into again. That's what you said, so that there will be no ambiguity. And in order to ensure that there is no single office that acts as an impediment to success, we noted that very, very, very seriously. You have an opportunity to amplify that when we handle the National Security Summit. So we'll be requesting a small paper from you on what the National Assembly should do in order to bridge the gap and ensure that those lacunas are constitutionally addressed through the constitutional amendment that we are presently undertaking. So, and yeah, I know the acts also. I'm sure that's to let you know that we noticed that we're listening to you very keenly. And that, of course, also answered the question as to who gave the order for soldiers to withdraw before the kidnappers entered the school. It's a function of whose responsibility was it to give order to those soldiers. Because of the various formations, you have too many, yes, you have too many areas. Then you also mentioned something about a database. The need for us to have a data where once your name is put into the data, everything about you comes out. Your age, your date of birth, your experience, and everything. So it will be easy for us to know. You will even have up to even your habits, whether you're a golfer, whether you're a footballer, whether you're a smoker, everything should come out. And then that will enable you to know whether such a person is fit for the responsibility you want to give the person. Your health status should also, will also be reflected in that database. Then we want to urge you, as soon as you take over, visit the defense industries. We would like a situation whereby we don't import everything, including bullets. Nigeria should at least be able to make bullets if we cannot make intercontinental ballistic missiles. And we have noted the aspect of the fact that once you fire one single rocket or so, you have burnt 150 million. So by the time you go into salvos and firing well over 20, 30, 50, you are burning billions, and we may not have all those monies. So you are working under difficult circumstances because of paucity of funds. But we'll do our best to ensure that we support you. Senator Lalong, the meeting of North Central is outside. He's not here. So Senator Odende can follow you and you go there so that you can continue. Let the Senate finish what we are doing. And then we also notice what you said about the judiciary, that we have the prolonged trials of suspects, that there will be need for the Senate, for the National Assembly to look at how we can shorten the period of trials. And then, of course, one thing that is most impressive is the fact that you are against negotiation with terrorists. This Senate is against negotiation with terrorists. And we're even against the idea of paying ransom to terrorists because they use the same money to go and buy more arms and then wait a while and come back again. It has never worked. Even when I was a state governor, I never negotiated with terrorists. I made my state so hot that each time we arrested a kidnapper, he would say, please, sir, forgive me, I did not know it was part of your state. when they said there was a job. I know how angry you are with kidnapping. That was how bad it was. Late Arase, former IG, was once one of the commissioners of police in my state when I was a governor. He can testify to this. So we can make Nigeria so hot that anybody that crosses in from the Sahel states, maybe Mali, Niger, anywhere, when the person is arrested, the person will be pleading with you. Say, Minister of Defense, please forgive me. I don't know that that part was part of Nigeria because of the policies we have put in place. We also need the cooperation of all Nigerians. Finally, I want to thank you once again for that non-negotiation policy. Please also advise the Commander-in-Chief, because most of the people you are negotiating with are laden with drugs. They are soaked with drugs. They don't go for operation with their normal eyes. So they don't go to any negotiation with normal eyes. They don't intend to keep whatever to whatever agreement. They only want to buy time to come back and strike. And then the kinetic and non-kinetic approach or approaches that you said, you've noticed that even when you release them to the society, it does not take 2 weeks before they are rearrested for the same crime. So there's need for us to review the policy of kinetic and non-kinetic and all that. I'm not against anything that will bring peace, but I'm also against something that will continue to encourage people to go eat money from government after they've been arrested. You waste a lot of money to arrest them. Sometimes you waste lives to even get 1 or 2 criminals. But when you bring them, you don't say you are trying to radicalize them. Then you go and put them inside a camp in Naija State. And then after that, you take them to Gombe and give them uniform and then monthly allowances. Then when you release them, it doesn't take 3 weeks. You arrest them again in Biu in Borno State, or you arrest them in Kwara or somewhere, the same person that you spend so much money on. And it's always a thing, it's something that demoralizes the society, where somebody who has killed over 20, 30 people is said to have been radicalized. And then the community sees the person coming. A typical Nigerian community will never accept such a person, and they'll be running away from that person. And he will get depressed and go back into the same crime. So let's face it. Let's face it. A kidnapper is a kidnapper. Once we are arrested, this Senate is of the opinion that you should face the capital punishment so that the society can be kept safe. Many countries have done that. In Nigeria, it's a sign of weakness for us to arrest kidnappers and then keep them and feed them at government expense and release them and give them uniform and give them allowances and say that we have changed them. So as a Minister of Defense, please advise the Commander-in-Chief and make sure that you are not afraid of advice. They said the soldiers don't talk. You are no longer in uniform. You are now part of us. You'll be wearing agbada. So advise the Commander-in-Chief, and then he's a man who has said that he doesn't mind if he makes mistake and you point it out, he will correct himself because he's not an angel, he's not God. So some people are a bit on the sycophantic side. So long as we continue to play politics with security, we'll continue to get the result we are getting. So bringing you in is that you have to be firm, you have to be resolute, and you have to remain committed as ever. And you've always been very patriotic. Please put the interests of the Nigerian citizens uppermost in your mind, and the rest will be added onto you. We will pray for you. We wish you well. Is it the view of the Senate that this nominee be allowed to take a bow and leave? Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. May now take a bow. Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded. Those in favor that the chair now reports progress, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. We revert to plenary to report progress. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate, the Committee of the Whole, considered the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces for the confirmation of General Christopher Musa for appointment as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The nominee, General Musa, answered questions from distinguished senators on security matters and a number of topical issues. And thereafter, the Committee of the Whole approved the nomination of General Christopher Musa as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate now confirm General Christopher Musa as the Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of General Christopher Musa is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me thank the Committee of the Whole, the entire Senate, and thank distinguished senators for painstakingly taking over 3 hours or more to ask questions bordering on security particularly and other issues of state and issues that tend to worry the minds of our constituents. I want to congratulate all of you for doing a good job of screening, approving, and confirming the nomination of General Christopher Musa, former CDS, as a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to also congratulate Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for finding him fit and worthy to be appointed first as Chief of Defense Staff and now as a Minister, possibly of Ministry of Defense, a Minister of Defense of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I wish him well in his new endeavor and pray that his actions will add value to ensuring that we minimize insecurity in the country and then bring the current security situation that tends to worry a lot of Nigerians to an end. I congratulate both the nominee as well as the appointer, Mr. President, and I congratulate the Senate for doing a great job. Accordingly, having come to the end of our deliberations for today, this Senate is hereby adjourned to Thursday, the 4th day of December 2025 at 11 a.m. prompt.